Hello writers, I'm Josiane Fortin and today I'm doing a solo episode to tell you about my writing progress. So it's been a while since I published a podcast episode, and the reason is after self-publishing 3 novels and 1 children's book in 2021, I needed a break from pushing myself, so I needed to slow down. So that's why I haven't recorded interviews in the past month. And for sure, I don't want this podcast to die, so I will be interviewing more authors soon. So right now, I'm working on translating a fantasy standalone, and I'm not set on a title quite yet. I'm thinking of maybe The Witch's Apprentice. So I'd like to know, what do you think about that title? I'm definitely not using the title that I had in French and just translating that. Like, I want something different. With time, I just realized that first title wasn't really good. So that's why I'm trying to come up with a new one. For the translation, I used artificial intelligence. So the website I used was DeepL Pro. And I paid a line edit and proofreading. Right now I'm waiting for the proofreading, and the line edit went really well, and the pro didn't even think that it was translated with AI, so I'm really proud of that. That cut so much work, and it's much less expensive to pay for a line edit than to pay for an actual translation, where you would still have to pay for some editing, because obviously even if your translator is really good, there might still be mistakes in words that they've translated. I also translated my trilogy Becoming Human with the same AI, and I'm waiting a little bit before I pay for proofreading because I want to see first results on my other novel first. And because it costs so much more, since I have more words to edit, of course. So the first one, like the novel that I'm paying right now, is about 70,000 words. And the trilogy is 140,000 words, I think. I'll see first, like, if I can get my money back on the first novel. And since it has the trilogy has not sold very many copies in the original French version, so it might not be a good one to invest in. I'm not really sure. At the same time, who knows? Like, maybe the English version would find its audience. So I'm not really sure what to do. It's an efficient way to produce intellectual property, to just translate a work that I've already done, and it's building my legacy. So just for that, it might be worth my money to invest in them. I'll reassess later. I am so close to publishing a book called Mind Your Brain. It's on pre-order right now on Amazon. It's the first time I'm using pre-order, so I'm a little bit nervous. So I put the launch date on July 30th to make sure that I can produce the files on time, but really it should be published at the latest the first week of April. I'll put a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. I don't even have the cover up yet. It should be ready soon. I'm waiting on the second version of it, and the first version was very, very promising. Like, it's just a couple of tweaks that I'm asking for, and I'm really excited about this book. Here's the blurb. If you can change the quality of your thinking, you can change the quality of your life. Brian Tracy. You can transform your life and generate revolutionary ideas and solutions if you build your thinking skills. And it starts with asking more powerful questions. We often turn to others to figure out what we should do with our lives, but wouldn't it make more sense to turn inward to find our own answers? Why would we assume other people's insights are better than ours? This booklet is filled with high-level questions you can use to propel your personal life and career. If you purchase this book, commit to work on at least some questions. It won't be as helpful if you simply read through them. Your mind contains gold and diamond. Dig in. So that's it. I'm so excited about this book. So much value is inside the book. It can help people so much, so I'm really excited about it. After finishing this book, I plan to work on another nonfiction that I've drafted over many years. It's all about productivity, and I have a killer title for it. I'll keep it as a surprise. So I've gathered all my productivity tips in one book. Also, I am brainstorming a new fantasy series that will have 7 books, and it will be inspired by the 7 chakras. I'm really excited about my concept, but I have much work to do to plan this right. I need to have arcs for all of the novels. I'm not really sure how to plan everything. Do I want to plan like the 7 books at once? That's what I would like to do, but I know myself. I'm just a pantser. I just make things up as I go. But at the same time, I want to plan to make sure that the story is really, really strong. So I'm just thinking about it pretty much every single day, but nothing is really set. I haven't written much of it. I will write it in French first, and I would like to translate it eventually. I'd like to go back to dictation and speak at least 400 words each night after my kids go to sleep. So once I have the plan clear in my mind, at least for the first book, I'll go back to dictating. Also, I experimented with Facebook ads, and I thought I was getting there, but sales just did not materialize. I feel like I'm targeting the right customers and I'm getting clicks. The books are just not converting. I advertised my best converting novel based on Amazon ads, yet on Facebook it has not converted. I need to experiment more, and maybe I should try a training on this. I'm not really sure what I'll do. After listening to another podcast on self-publishing, I set up a Patreon account and a Ko-fi account to help with my content creation. If you don't know about these, there are websites where you can become patrons of your favorite creators. You can contribute any amount that you like, and the creator can offer various products and services in exchange for your donation. You can find me on both sites under J Fortin, and let me talk to you a little bit what you can do on my Patreon account. So you can leave a tip. So it's just set at $5. So it's a generous tip to help me bring more content on the podcast and write more books. Then I have another tier, that's how they call it, where you can get your name on the show. So I thank you personally on the show. You'll hear your name on one of the podcasts. So it's $10. And then I have another tier where it's $30 to get connected with me over chat, where you can ask me any questions that you'd like about writing, self-publishing, podcasting, or creating in general. So this chat will last 15 minutes. And you also get thanked during one of my podcast episodes. Then this one I'm really excited about. You get a book dedicated to you. So I limit that to 3 people per book. So it's very exclusive. If you dream of having a book dedicated to you, it's $300, and I'm publishing my fantasy novel for young adults in a couple of months. And if you're really quick, you might even get in my, not a novel, but my book, my nonfiction book, Mind Your Brain. So I will dedicate it to you. So depending on when you make your contribution, I always have new books coming out. So I'll let you know where your name will be printed on. And in my Ko-fi account, I just set it for tips, so you can contribute whatever you would like, $1, $10, whatever you want to contribute to the podcast. I'm planning to get the podcast up and running again. I still need some time to rest before I go back to interviews. I am an introvert, and those interviews require a lot of energy for me. So that's why I kind of drained all my energy for interviews. I have many authors that keep contacting me to be on the show, so there is no shortage of good information waiting for us, and I'm really excited to talk to all of them and see how they are creative, how they market their books. It's always so interesting. Talk to you soon.